We have Bernie Sanders speaking, I believe, and yes, so let's go to his speech now.
Create the highest voter turnout in American political history. So we're going to beat Trump because this will become a contrast in ideas. One of us in this race led the opposition to the war in Iraq. You're looking at him. Another candidate voted for the war in Iraq. One of us has spent his entire life fighting against cuts in Social Security, wanting to expand Social Security. Another candidate has been on the floor of the Senate calling for cuts to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and Veterans programs. One of us led the opposition to disastrous trade agreements which cost us millions of good-paying jobs. And that's me. And another candidate voted for disastrous trade agreements. One of us stood up for consumers and said we will not support a disastrous bankruptcy bill. And another candidate represented the credit card companies and voted for that disastrous bill. So here we are. We have two major goals in front of us, and they are directly related. First, we must beat a president who apparently has never read the Constitution of the United States. A president who thinks we should be an autocracy, not a democracy. But second of all, we need a movement and are developing a movement of Black, white, Latino, Native American, Asian American, gay and straight. Of people who are making it clear every day they will not tolerate the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality we are experiencing. We will not give tax breaks to billionaires when 500,000 Americans sleep out on the streets. We will not allow 49% of all new income to go to the 1% when half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I don't know what's going to happen later tonight. We're doing well in Texas right now. We won Colorado. And I'm cautiously optimistic that later in the evening, we can win the largest state in this country, the state of California. But no matter what happens, if this campaign, and I don't know what will happen, but if it comes out to be a campaign in which we have one candidate who is standing up for the working class and the middle class, we're going to win that election. And if we have another candidate who has received contributions from at least 60 billionaires, we're going to win that election. And if there is another candidate in the race who is spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, we're going to tell him, in America, you cannot buy elections. So I am excited about where we are. We have come a long, long way And I want to, once again, thank the great state of Vermont and all of the people in the state. Not only for the victory you gave our movement tonight, but for the years and years of love and support you have given me and my family. So Vermont, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you all very much. Let's go on to the White House. Thank you.
All right, so there's Bernie Sanders with a pretty positive message, which I appreciate. I mean, if you go on any social media platform right now, a lot of his supporters are feeling discouraged, and I don't think they should yet. I think it's too early to feel as negatively as some people have.
Texas was, the New York Times has been saying about Texas for the last hour that it was likely Biden, a slight margin, but they expected him to win by somewhere around 3 points based on their projections. And that has been scaled back to maybe Biden. It appears then has now been stated again. Now they actually think maybe Sanders. Right. So but basically the expected margin, they got no clear leader. So Texas is essentially looking like a tie, but it has moved in their estimates to in Bernie Sanders' direction over the last hour.
That's interesting. So I'm looking at, obviously the results vary based on which site you're looking at. I'm looking at Decision Desk.
They theoretically shouldn't. I mean, they're all coming from the same place. It's not like, not like the New York Times is a good source in the election department. I mean,
So I'm looking at Texas right now, and it looks like Bernie's leading with 294,725 votes. Biden's at 244,804 votes.
Yeah, but they're projecting like where the other votes are, and I presume that there are significant areas where there are a lot of black Texans, and they are presuming that those votes are gonna tilt to Biden, and they're trying to estimate how many votes there are and at what percentage based on what they've already seen in black communities that those votes will go to Biden. But again, it has moved from a likely. Right now they have basically at 50-50, but they think Sanders is slightly more likely. But an hour ago, again, they thought Biden by about 3 points.
So just to comment on Bernie's speech a little more, I wish that he should have had this type of energy, because I mean, he went pretty hard against Bloomberg and specifically Biden in what he was saying there. There was a little bit of that when it came to the videos that his campaign was putting out, especially when it came to how Biden went after Social Security in the past. But these types of impassioned speeches really do speak to people, and I wish that he would focus a little more on that on the campaign trail. But
talking about energy and tone, or like the words he's saying, like, because we know the policies and the topics that he covers. Is it that you don't think he's delivering in the best way? Because then there's that balance.
I think that he has gone out of his way to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, he does differentiate himself from the other candidates policy-wise, but he also has like this polite tone. And I think the reason why he takes that strategy is because he knows that if he raises his voice a little bit, he gets accused of yelling.
Right, so what do you do about that though? Because
you just ignore the.
You think he has a polite tone? I mean, I think I know what you're saying. I don't. Most people do not think he has a polite tone. They find him hectoring.
They find him hectoring because he says things that they don't like, and I think that he challenges something like a system that we might be uncomfortable with it. I know I don't like the system that we're living under right now. I know that I'm ready for real, changes in different areas of my life, not just healthcare, but how am I gonna retire, right? What is my future gonna look like? What's job security gonna look like?
And it's like, how can I retire at 36?
Oh, I dream about retiring every day. I don't know if it'll ever happen, especially if I keep working here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is constantly worried about providing for their families. Everyone's constantly worried about whether they'll see a day where they don't have to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. So like, I get it. The people who have the platforms, especially on the mainstream press, like they're the ones who are like, oh, he's vectoring, he's this, he's not polite.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.